everybody, what's going on? I'm right on time. I'm always on time, actually, so I'm very good with that. All right, what's up, everybody? What's going on? What's happening? Welcome back to another video. This video we're talking about Neymar today. This is a weird one, but Neymar seems to come up all the time in the transfer rumors. I'll just address that and see if it's true or not. Just check the veracity of it. Sometimes, there is some substance to it. I mean, Neymar has been interested. I'm sure he's been interested in us, and I know Real Madrid has been interested in him as well. We've seen this in the past, but yeah, we'll get started into before we get into the Neymar. We'll go into Valverde. Let's go into Valverde first, just because he's going to be granted Spanish citizenship, and it's a pretty short piece of news. So I'm just going to get into that really quick. Valverde, yeah, he's going to get granted the Spanish citizenship, which is I would say pretty good news, to be honest, because this frees up a spot in the squad, which essentially you could give to Rodrigo, you could give to Kubo. Of course, in my case, I would prefer to see Kubo in there, but is he too much like Brahim Diaz? Possibly so. Maybe Rodrigo could be the better option if you want to play him on the right-hand side. Rodrigo could be the better way to go, just because Rodrigo, he offers a little bit more speed, he offers something else that maybe we already have in the team, so Rodrigo could essentially take up that European spot. So there you go. I think that's the news for that. There's not much to say about it. I did talk about it before. So yeah, Fede Valverde getting the Spanish citizenship, and hopefully we can see some good stuff from Fede Valverde. I gave him a lot of stick, like I said, gave him a lot of stick last season, but I know there's potential in there. It seems like from what I saw in the preseason that it seems promising. All the pundits, they're just raving about him, but I haven't seen it so far. But in the preseason, I have to give it to him. He looks like a pretty good kid. So hopefully we do see him coming good this season. Now, the big thing that I want to talk about is Neymar. Would you guys want to see Neymar at the club? Let me know in the comments. There's always a contentious one. Neymar. Oh my goodness. I've been a big, I would say, opposer of Neymar. How do you say that? Yeah, I would say I'm against Neymar at the club, but let me actually maybe backtrack on that. I'm going to come up with an argument. I tried to, it's like a 15-page essay. No, I'm just kidding. I don't have that much, but I do have a few points to make about Neymar. Why he would be a good fit for Real Madrid. Why he could prove to be good for us. I'm going to start with that, and then I'm going to talk about why this move wouldn't make sense at all. So I'm going to start with why it makes sense. Why it makes sense. Obviously, he's a world-class player. He can shoot with both feet. He's a proven goal scorer in La Liga, PSG, proven at the European top level. That's the first point. Obviously, who wouldn't want that in their team, right? Ostensibly, it looks perfect. He can essentially be Cristiano Ronaldo's replacement in scoring 30 to 40 goals per season. I think I wouldn't say in his last season in La Liga, I think he got 13 goals in the whole league. But I mean, in all competitions, he did fairly well. I think it's about 30 goals or something like that. I don't know. Is it 20 to 30 goals? I can't remember. But essentially, he could be Cristiano Ronaldo's real replacement. You have Eden Hazard, who's being kind of tipped as being that replacement. But Eden Hazard's a very different player to Cristiano Ronaldo. Cristiano Ronaldo was a goal scorer. Eden Hazard's more a creator. He scores goals here and there, but will he really surpass that 20-goal mark is the big question for me. I know in all competitions he could do it. It's just in the league, will he surpass the 20-goal mark? He hasn't done it ever at Chelsea. So we're asking Eden Hazard to do something he's never done in his career. Will he end up doing that? It's a big risk, it's a big risk. But yeah, essentially Neymar, what he could do, or what he could bring to Real Madrid is, scoring about, I would say, 30 to 40 goals per season. He's that good of a player. He's just on a different level. He can dribble. He would drive defenders crazy. That's my next point. Obviously, you want that in a team, obviously, because you get the disorganization of the other team, and then obviously with that comes spaces and gaps, and you can exploit them, and you create stuff. So that's my next point. Obviously, let me give you some of the stats from Simon's Barca. So his last season at Barcelona in the league, he made 30 appearances, got 13 goals and 11 assists in all not in all competitions in the league. So I wouldn't say it's a contribution per game, but it's very close. It's very close. And he got 3 key passes per game. Very good. 3.5 shots per game. Also very good. 5.6 dribbles per game. I mean, that's out of this world, man. 5.6 dribbles per game. I mean, who wouldn't want that, right? Let's go on. Let's carry on here. He would bring Madrid to a different level. He obviously would. You're looking at a guy who can score and score time and time again. So Neymar, of course, bringing Neymar to the club would help us a lot. It would help us a lot tremendously in terms of goal scoring, in terms of we got a scarcity of goals at the moment, and that's the thing. We need to score. Yes, in the Fenerbahce game we didn't have that, but in the other games we did have that. So we need someone who can do that. Eden Hazard, whether he can do that or not, I don't really think so. He is a goal scorer. We can get probably 20 goals out of him in all competitions, and we can get quite a few assists from him. But is he really a Ronaldo replacement? That's the question. We need a proven goal scorer. Neymar is certainly that. The other point I want to make about Neymar is, look, basically what Neymar does is he operates on the left hand flank, and then he operates in the middle a little bit. But he operates mostly in the left hand flank unless he's playing as a number 10. He operates in the middle a lot. But essentially, you could have Eden Hazard and Neymar playing together. What you could do is have Eden Hazard play on the left hand flank, Neymar playing as a number 10 or as a striker, and you could have them play together. I know maybe they'd get in each other's way at the beginning, but they're two world class players. I'm sure they could adapt. All world class players. That's what they do. They adapt. Neymar from Santos to Barcelona adapted. And that's what's going to happen. He knows how to adapt. So yeah, he can play as a number 10. Neymar. He can create from deep. That's very good because he can disorganize teams. He can disorganize the midfield. That's exactly what you want. What else? His vision, obviously, he's got tremendous vision. He can help immensely in, maybe finding passes for Rodrigo or finding passes for Hazard, finding passes for Vinicius. So essentially, yeah, you could use that to your advantage, And lastly, my last point about Neymar is that he triggers team mentally. What I mean by that is that what I hate and like about Neymar is that it's similar to Cristiano Ronaldo. Cristiano Ronaldo had this also, where he would trigger teams. They're good players, and teams don't like that. They don't like that, and so it's hard to defend against. Ronaldo had that. He had that kind of character, and Neymar's got that kind of character too, where it's easy to kind of hate on him, I would say. And Ronaldo had that too. I mean, I remember, every single game Ronaldo would get booed, and what would he do? He would find the back of the net every single time. That's what I liked about Ronaldo, to be honest, too. His resilience, his ability to kind of talk back to the haters, I would say, on the pitch. So that's what I really liked about him, and that's what Neymar has. And so these points, obviously, it does make sense to have Neymar at the club. It would be amazing. Now, why this doesn't make sense? Why maybe Neymar wouldn't be a good fit for Real Madrid? So obviously we've seen this throughout time and time again throughout his career, is that Neymar is cynical. He is selfish, ego-driven, and we saw this when he moved to PSG. Whether it was money motivated or personal development, obviously going after the Ballon d'Or, it was still an egocentric move. When he plays on the pitch, his flamboyance can be egocentric. You see the tricks, and sometimes the tricks have no reason other than showboating. So that's egocentric in itself. But in his defense, Ronaldinho was like this also. So, whether it's an egocentric thing or not, it is an egocentric thing. But does it really bother people? I mean, people today, I guess they get triggered a little bit more than before. But, Ronaldinho is not, at the time of Ronaldinho, I mean, people would get triggered. But now it seems to be criticized a lot more, maybe because they're put under the spotlight more. But there you have it. Let me get to other reasons also why it doesn't make sense. So yeah, why this doesn't make sense? He acts like a spoiled kid. He gets what he wants. Neymar thinks that he can act how he wants. When he wants. We saw this when he was asked about his best moment as a player in his career, and he was at PSG, and he talked about when he defeated PSG as a Barcelona player. Yeah, I don't know who does that, but only Neymar can do that, I guess. At PSG, look, he knew he was bigger than the club. It was Neymar FC. At Real Madrid, I don't think it'll be like this. I think Neymar at Real Madrid would realize that he's playing with a lot of good players around him. Obviously, at PSG you have Mbappe, but PSG don't have the history that Real Madrid do, and that's the thing that maybe could work to our advantage. Let's see. Next point. Yeah, he is quite ostentatious, and what I mean by that is he's flamboyant. He's always trying to show off, and that can get annoying. Whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. Um, he's got an opulent lifestyle. He likes to live the lavish lifestyle. He likes to show off. Yeah, he attracts the headlines for the wrong reasons. But you know what? Maybe any publicity is good publicity, right? That's the thing with Neymar. So there you have it. I don't know what to say about that, but any publicity is good publicity, I guess. That's what they say. He went the next thing why it doesn't make sense is he went to PSG to help the team progress in the Champions League, only to end up as the same spot. Only for PSG to end up as the same spot. Obviously, this is due to injuries partly, but he did win the treble with Barcelona, and he proved himself there. So he can obviously do it. He can obviously prove himself at the top level. He obviously showed that he can help a team, in a non-cynical way, I would say. And lastly, I think that's pretty much the last point. Maybe why it doesn't make sense is Messi the only player that can keep his ego in check? I guess that's the big question. And the conclusion to this argument, I would say, is that, especially considering it's a loan move, I think there's no reason to think we shouldn't take Neymar. It sounds kind of weird coming from me because I'm a big, I would say, opposer of having Neymar at the club. But maybe Neymar could be a good idea, especially if it's considering we bring him on a loan move. It could be a very good idea. I know that it would be a loan move with the possibility of purchase. What you could do, get a loan move, maybe 1 year, see how that works out. If it doesn't go well, you just give him back to the previous club. That's it. Easy as that. But if it does work out, then hey, we should maybe look into buying him. I don't know what could happen. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about Neymar. Should we buy him? Should we not? Because maybe it could be good. Maybe we're missing someone like that in the team, especially considering if it's a loan move. This could be good. Now, is there a lot of substance in this? Look, I know he's enamored with the idea of going to Barcelona, but Real Madrid is potentially a lucrative deal, and I'm sure he's not going to overlook it. It's happened so many times, that we've been linked to Neymar, and I'm sure he's going to be looking at it, especially considering he wants to leave PSG. There's no real clubs interested in him. He's looking for a way out. I mean, why not? The only thing I would say to that is that I know that the last time really any Real Madrid player did that was during the time of Figo, and he knows that he's going to get just a ton of hate, especially that already he has so much hate. But Neymar is just cynical. He doesn't care. At the end of the day. So let's see. I think that's all. That's pretty much it on the Neymar thing. And yeah, that's my conclusion. That really is my premise. Is that maybe we should take Neymar on a loan move. Maybe it could be good for the team to do this. So we'll have to see with Neymar. We'll have to see. There's a few, Real Madrid, obviously, the relationship with the president, the PSG president, and the Real Madrid president, I think is pretty good. So we can obviously make that happen. Versus the Barcelona president, the PSG president, it's not very good at the moment. I know the Barcelona president had a few words to say about Neymar. So whether Neymar is going to go back to Barcelona, it's up in the air. I mean, I know Messi wants to make it happen, but whether they can make it financially happen with the resources that they have after having bought Griezmann, still having Dembele, Coutinho, and a few other players at the club, I mean, I don't know if they can make that happen or not. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it on the Neymar thing. Let's see here. Yeah, that's all. Yeah, that's all. That's all. I'm gonna end it right there. Obviously, you got the stats down there. Really good stats. Last season. Obviously, just had 16 appearances. This was down to injuries quite a bit, but 15 goals, 7 assists, and 16 appearances. French league is pub league, but in Barcelona, you saw it. 5.6, I think, dribbles per game. This 3 key passes per game in La Liga. I mean, very similar stats to PSG. I would take him. If it's on a loan move, I'll take him. If it's on a purchase, I don't think I take him. It's too risky. But on a loan move, 100% I take him. It's definitely worth the risk because at the moment we're missing the goals here at Real Madrid. We need goals, and for me, I don't think Eden Hazard can provide that necessarily. I think he will help in helping diminish the tasks for other players, but he will not be the main, I would say, the prominent kind of player, the protagonist in scoring goals. He's not that kind of player. He's a creator and he's a goal scorer. Kind of like, I guess, kind of like Benzema in some way, except maybe his finishing is a little bit better. But there you have it, guys. I think I'm going to end it there. That's all I have for you guys today. Really, the Neymar link. I mean, whether there's substance or not, there is some substance. I'm sure there is. The only thing is that Neymar, I don't know if he wants the move, But with the situation at PSG, it's looking really odd, And Barcelona, maybe they don't have the financial resources to make it happen after having bought Antoine Griezmann. They have Dembele, Coutinho, Messi on huge wages. Maybe they can't make it happen, per FFP, and maybe Real Madrid could. Obviously, what we'd have to do here at Real Madrid is sell Gareth Bale. We'd have to sell Gareth Bale. We'd have to sell James to free up some space in terms of finances, because at the moment, obviously, we can't make it happen. But if we do sell Gareth Bale, James Rodriguez, then there you have it. We can probably make this loan deal happen. And, even the PSG president, he said that we didn't have to make payments until 2020. That's what he said, I believe, not too long ago. So, it's definitely a possibility. And I'm sure Neymar, like I said, Neymar won't overlook this quite easily. He might just be tempted by by playing for Real Madrid. It could be a possibility. So that's all I have for you guys today. I'm going to end it right there. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys for tuning in. Tomorrow is the match preview. I will be on at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time as usual. And then at the match reaction, I should be on right after the match. I'll let you know in the match preview if I can or cannot make it. So that's all I have for you guys today, of course. Thank you guys so much for watching, as always. And have